The situation in Ukraine became more volatile in the last few days. The hotspot this time is the eastern part of the country, where pro-Russian activists took control of some government buildings over the weekend. Officials in Kiev and the United States are accusing Moscow of orchestrating events. Russia denies that and has warned that the latest confrontation could spill into an all-out civil war. We begin with the very latest from CCTV's Michal, Bardavid, who joins us now from Kiev. And Michal, events moving very fast as these tensions escalate. What's the latest there?
Well, first of all, it's important to understand, Anand, that the cities that are seeing all this action in eastern and one of the cities in south is that they're very pro-Russian. The main cities, for example, Donetsk and Luhansk, that are seeing a lot of the action are known to be pro-party of regions, which is the party of the ousted president of Yanukovych. So we're seeing a lot of action in the pro-Russian cities there. We have breaking news from the city of Luhansk. In the city of Luhansk, the security service of Ukraine has stated that the seized official buildings, the protesters there had seized weapons during the day and that they have explosives in the building right now. They have said, the security service of Ukraine has said that the protesters are keeping about 60 people hostage in Luhansk. The protesters have denied this. However, this is what the security service of Ukraine is saying at the moment. We have two other developments from the cities there in Donetsk and in Kharkiv. These two regions have declared that they would like to, like Crimea, declare as themselves an independent People's Republic. So they have called for Russia, they've called for the support of Russia, for Russia to send in peacekeeping troops, and that in Donetsk they would like to hold a referendum on May 11th. Another development in one of the cities, this time in the south, is in Mykolaiv, where clashes erupted over Sunday night, and this was between pro-Russia protesters and pro-Western people living there. There have been reports that people have been injured. At least 10 people were injured, and there have been gunfires shot as well in those cities. Officials from the interim government have been to all of these cities. They're trying to send a message that they will not stand by as these cities are trying to break away like Crimea.
Right, now Russia is also warning of a civil war breaking out. What can you tell us about that?
Anand, civil war has been a main concern for Ukraine for a long time now. We know there's a split in the country. The ones who are on one side pro-Russian, on the other side we have the pro-Western people who were the protesters during the last couple of months here in the Maidan in Kiev. Russia's statement today, on Tuesday, has been basically to the Ukrainian government. They said that Ukrainian government should halt all military preparations that they might be doing in regard to the developments in eastern Ukraine, basically because they're afraid of how the government may respond to the protests that are erupting there, for once again official buildings to being taken over by protesters. The United States has given a response to that. They have said, they have warned Russia not to make any intervention towards Ukraine and the eastern borders, that would be an escalation of the tension. However, we have reports that the US, the EU, and Russia may be meeting in the next 10 days somewhere in Europe, but we don't have the details quite yet. Anand?
Yeah, clearly tensions are escalating there. Could you give us some idea of what the mood is like in Kiev? Has there been any kind of response from the Ukrainian government, for one?
Yes, the tension is high in Ukraine. In the parliament today, a fight broke out between a communist and a nationalist member of parliament. There have been official statements by the Ukrainian government. Prime Minister Yatsenyuk and interim President Turchinov has made statements. They have basically been accusing Russia of orchestrating separatist movement in Ukraine. They have said that a second Crimea scenario is trying to be played out here in Ukraine, and they are saying that they will not allow this. They will not allow Russia to make an excuse, is what they're calling it, to cross the border into Ukraine. However, that's the parliament tension is high there. When you're walking in the streets here in Kiev, it seems that life continues like it is in the ordinary. However, when you sit down and talk to people, they do seem concerned. Media has been playing out the events as it has been going at the moment. So the tension is felt in Ukraine.
Okay, thanks, Michal. Michal Bardavid there reporting from Kiev.